Liza Donnelly, I'm so happy to have a chance to talk to you. For anybody who doesn't already know your work, you have made so many of us laugh and feel seen for decades. Liza is a cartoonist who does work at the New Yorker, among many places, and you have a way of capturing the absurdities of life and the serious topics in a way that gives visual voice to something that we've felt but didn't have the words to experience. So thank you.
That's very kind of you. Thank you. That's what I try to do. I'm glad it is successful in some ways.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much of this that we need the words for these
Right.
days, or the visual reference for. So can I just ask you to start? I want to hear your backstory. First of all, I'm such a journalist. I come in hard, right? Like this is about laughing.
Well, laughing is serious business, Jessica. Don't you
Do you
think? I think it is. I mean, I saw what I think.
do you spend your days finding ways to find the humor in things?
That's a good question. I mean, yes and no. I'm a serious cartoon. I'm a serious leaning cartoonist. So my cartoons are more uh can be too serious sometimes.
We both
um,
have.
because I grew up in Washington D.C. during Watergate, and I always wanted to be a journalist. I always wanted to be a political cartoonist, and because I feel like you can get at topics uh, much more effectively in some ways than with a drawing than with words, because people are drawn to cartoons. They wanna look at it, so you've got their attention.
Do you think you have permission to go there in ways that it's easier to do visually than you can in words?
Uh, I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah.
I try my work is if people know my work, it tends to be a little quieter, even though
Yeah.
I can be hard hitting. Not for the New Yorker, but for online, I can be pretty tough. But it's not, it's not outrageously loud humor. So I think that, so I don't try to get away with stuff. I try to, cartoons are a conversation, so I try to engage people and talk about what I think is going on, what's interesting.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bit deadpan sometimes. Let's talk about something that's going on right now, and then we can go back into your story, which is um, this story in the news today that I just find mind blowing. These Texas legislators have fled Texas. Most of them are in Illinois, and the FBI is now reportedly coming to find them. Kash Patel has Senator Cornyn, the senior senator from Texas, says that Kash Patel agreed to use the FBI to find them, and Texas's governor says they will be brought back to the state capitol. Now,
Mhm.
how much of that is just rhetoric, how much is real, we'll find out. But what's meaningful is that J.B. Pritzker, the governor of Illinois, is saying, not on my watch. They have not
Mhm.
broken the law. They will not be taken.
Mhm.
And so we could see a real federal state clash really over the future of our elections.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
if it weren't so serious, it would be a farce.
Right.
How do you take something like that on?
Well, I wrote about it a couple days ago. I'm also a writer, and I wrote about it because I was alarmed by, well, not I was excited and proud of those Texas Democrats for doing what they did, and I thought this is really a moment. I think this is a moment, and now that the administration is saying they're going to stick the FBI on them, that's another moment. We're really kind of at a crisis point. I think that may tell us a lot about what's going to happen going forward. And I did draw about it too. I came at it indirectly about the I forget the word I used, the moral authority of like what's the word I used? I can't quite remember. It's a couple days ago. If people want to see it on my Substack.
Okay.
Just saying that i- by any means necessary, we have to stop Trump. And I had a child asking her mother a question about what is what is the right thing to do, and this is how she responds. Whatever works really. So
Whatever
I'm
it
not
takes.
describing the cartoon very well, but if you can see it, it's better to see it anyway.
Okay. I know it's hard to talk about visuals, right?
Yeah.
So let's go back. You sold your first cartoon to the New Yorker at the age of 24. Is that
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah.
And you were one of only 3 women doing this at the time?
There are 4 of us. There were 4
4.
of us. Yeah. Mhm.
Can you tell us, like, what was that experience for you?
Oh, it was thrilling. I had always wanted to be a New Yorker cartoonist since I was a child. Because I looked at I wanted to be a political cartoonist, and I looked at the cartoons in the New Yorker, not thinking there would be it seemed status quo to me. It seemed very stuffy as a child, as a young person. But I saw they had political cartoons, and so I set my sights on the New Yorker, and sold right after college. And my third drawing that I sold was political. It was about Walter Mondale. So it was thrilling. I felt this is what I want to do.
And did you experience yourself as being one of few women? Was it challenging? Like, did you ever think, gosh, this isn't for me. I got to get out. It's too, I don't
No,
know.
no. I mean, I was aware. Oh, I'm being told there's a lot of echo in the video.
Really? I don't
Uh-huh.
hear it.
Okay.
Does
Well,
anyone else hear it? Tell us in comments. Keep
no.
going.
Anyway, of course, I was aware by the time I was in my but I mean, I was by in my late teens, I was aware there weren't many women, but I didn't really think strongly about that. I just wanted to be a cartoonist, and I was a feminist, of course, but I didn't think that I was doing anything unusual. I just wanted to do what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Um, and then once I got in there, and it was not like the New Yorker is anti women. It never was. Um, they were welcoming. They brought Roz Chastain, they brought, Victoria Robertson, and some great contributors are still there. So, it was unequal at the time. This is in the late '70s, and then it slowly got better, and it was unequal for cultural reasons, mostly in the '60s and '50s. It was, women weren't supposed to be funny, so it was mostly cultural. And then a new editor came along in the early '70s, a guy named Lee Lorenz, who wanted to look for humor that was expressed differently. And when you do that, when you try to find something that's different, whether it's cartoons or literature or poetry or journalism even, you get new people, you get diversity, and that's what happened. Slow it was slow, but, now it's equal, the New Yorker. There's
Well,
equal numbers of men and women, so took that long.
lovely to know.
Mhm.
Well, some places haven't reached there yet. So bravo, New Yorker.
Yeah.
Uh, as you said earlier when we were talking about the FBI, part of what your challenge is distilling a complex moment, whether it's a political flashpoint, like what we're facing possibly today, or a cultural shift. What's your process for figuring out how to distill something so abstract or something so visceral into a single image with a few words?
A great question, Jessica. Um, well, first of all, I keep in terms of politics, I keep myself very informed, so I know all the angles, not all of them, of course, but I know as many angles as I can know, in my time, about what's going on. And then I will jot down, words, phrases, ideas that come out of the news, and then you have to sit with it. I sit with it, for a day or more sometimes, uh and then you doodle, and then you sit with the word, you try to put it in situations. We're talking about New Yorker cartoons, and hopefully you'll come up with something. Phrasing, uh, people like I use a lot of young people, girls talking about what they're experiencing, because it when children talk about what they're experiencing, it makes you realize how weird things really are.
Right.
It's like, and if we were going to talk about the Epstein files.
Yeah.
I can go there now if you want.
Yeah.
There I've done a lot of feminist cartoons, some more subtle ones for the New Yorker, but most of my stronger feminist cartoons are online. And, I did one about 10, 12 years ago, and it's still holds water, unfortunately. And it's 2 little girls sitting on the floor playing with their toys, and one says, "I can't decide what I wanna be when I grow up, a good girl or slut." Um, Another one I did of 2 little girls is more perhaps more pertains more to, the Epstein files is, um, "When I grow up, I hope my rape allegations are believed."
Oh
So
my God.
I know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So you do go there is the
I
answer.
do.
You
I
go
do.
there.
I do.
But when it's serving a larger message, yeah,
Yeah.
to
Right.
pull the veil on what we may not be saying. Yeah.
Right, we gotta make it clear that I have to find something that is relatable by a lot of people. I'm not inside the beltway, let's put it that way,
Right.
usually.
So it sounds like your process is a little bit akin to how comedians break a joke. Like they hone in on the thing that they know has absurdity, and then you keep reworking it and turning
Yeah,
it various ways till you really find the
right.
in.
And there's a gut thing too. You go with your gut. Like, I've been doing this long enough. What's bothering me, you know? I will go with that. The Texas thing was bothering me immediately. I thought that's gotta be something, or the Epstein files, Eugene Carroll, I just have to follow my radar. Sometimes it leads nowhere, but oftentimes it goes someplace.
You know what this brings to mind? I interviewed JB Pritzker, the governor of Illinois,
I
yesterday.
saw, I loved it, yeah, mhm.
Something that he does that I realized after that that's quite effective is he says, like, this is not, when have we ever seen this happen before? Like, can we just agree this is extremely unusual and this is not how America does business? I don't know why we don't hear more people saying it, but there's a way in which he kind of flags the not just um, crisis moment, but the absurdity or how out. I don't know what that is, but I feel like that's part of what you do too, which is saying, aren't we all? Can't we all see that this is not
Right,
normal? I mean, it's too obvious to say that. Sounds
yeah,
cliche,
yeah.
but that's yeah.
Yeah, it started after the election, I just decided that I was gonna post every single day because we need to do something. I have to do something. So, my little part in this horrible time we're in, trying to keep people informed and trying to point out what I think is absurd, and, dangerous. You know?
How do you? Can we go to the Epstein story? How do you like think about telling that without sort of minimizing the experience of the victims, or
Mm,
worry that like making it into a cartoon makes it seem glib? Which, of course, most of your audience understands that's not what it will be. But some people are so sensitive, it could come. They could react that way. Do you think about that when you're going in, or do you have to just not consider reaction?
I do consider reaction. Uh, I like to say that we have free speech and free expression, but as an editorial cartoonist, I have a responsibility to take all the um, emotions and viewpoints of other people in mind. I mean, I don't even go after. I go if I go after people in the Republican Party, I'd go after officials, usually Trump. I don't go after the their followers. I just feel like anyway. I try to keep everybody in mind. I'm not trying to insult anybody. I'm just trying to raise awareness and have a little laugh. I mean, not all my stuff is political, you know that. So, mhm.
Can you tell me one thing that is like pure funny right now that you've worked on? Not depressing funny, not
Oh my
ironic
god,
funny, just like,
on
"That's
the
funny."
spot. Uh,
I know it's so hard to say, "Be funny," but is there anything light happening that you could make in our culture? It's just so
that's a good question. I'll have to think about that.
okay. You could
'Cause
follow up.
I do like and silly cartoons. We're talking politics. My brain is in the political realm. I have to plug in my phone. I'm
Oh, okay,
sorry.
go do that. No, it's fine. We don't want the food to die. I'm gonna invite anyone in the audience who can think of a purely funny thing that's happening that's not sad funny or depressing funny or scary funny. Share that
Uh,
with us.
well, it's
I'll tell you something funny.
okay. Please do.
I posted this yesterday. Somebody wrote that this is the state of our world right now, and they shared, I've been logged out of my toothbrush, and Oral-B now has some electric toothbrush that says, "You have been logged out. Please enter your name
That's
and
really
password."
great. Well, actually, I ran into this is what makes reminds me. I ran into an article in the New York Times, the wire cutter, and it
Yeah,
was the headline was about, like, do you know which pot to use, So, to me, that's just kind of absurd that we're at this level. You don't know which pot to use to cook whatever, and there's
I
a
know.
whole article about what you need to buy to cook which piece of food, and
I
just
mean,
cook the food already.
right? I know. When I posted this yesterday, people wrote in there like, "I was trying to cook the other day, and my oven said it had to descale, and it wasn't available to help me at that moment." Someone's brand new smart house, like, turned on them and locked them in. I mean,
Mhm.
that's abs
It's the details of life that are funny. That's when you can really find the humor is in the details
I love
that
that.
we all share, yeah.
Um, Tell us a little bit about you have spent decades elevating women cartoonists, others in your
Oh,
field,
thank
and
you.
you're now, directing a documentary about this called Women Laughing. Tell
Yeah.
us about this documentary.
It is, I'm so excited about it. It's, about women cartoonists at The New Yorker. I wrote a book about it. The first one was in 2005, and the second one was edition came out in 2022 because we have equal women now. But there were women at The New Yorker in 1925, and I loved discovering that. I spent a year in their archives researching, these women. And I just love the way women think about things and how I mean, not that we think differently than men, our humor is not necessarily different, it's only different because we happen to be women, you know? We don't draw differently, um, there's no different sensibility necessarily, but we have different ways of experiencing the world, and we have different stories to tell. So I wanted to do a film based on my book, um, about these women and how they look at the world. And so I decided I have a wonderful team of people working with me. Kathy Hughes is my director with me, and Judith Mizrachi, my producer, and Natalie Sieber, my producer, and great. I want to name them all. They're all so wonderful. And they're all like Emmy winners and Academy Award nominees. So anyway, we decided that make it innovative as a documentary and have me talking to my colleagues one on one across a table with a big piece of paper and lots of pens, and so we
Ah,
draw and talk at the same time. Because my interest I know these women. I interviewed 5 women, one on one. Um, uh, I really wanted to know how their brains work, and I wanted to do it through drawing, and I wanted to see them draw, I wanted to laugh with them. So, that's the basis of the film, and we go into history a little bit, but, I'm really excited for people to see it and to hear about these women.
I'm excited to watch it.
Good.
I remember I interviewed a very famous, I will say public intellectual, I won't name who, years ago, who wrote a piece about how women are not funny. And,
Oh, I know who that is. I know exactly who that is.
right, has since passed, so we will be gentle. But, um, and I found it so bizarre and challenging to do because it's entirely based on it's just an assertion. Like there's no it's just not true, right? So
Right.
but there's this weird cultural like value around that that's very 1950s-y. Um what do you think that is? Other
Do you
than
think
just
we still
patriarchy. But
Yeah. Do you think we still have that? Do you think there's
no.
still
I
Uh-huh.
mean, we
It's
should ask
better.
Amy
I
Schumer.
maybe
I'm
Yeah.
sure some women comedians deal with this. Yes.
Oh, I think so too. I I mean, 10 years ago, I interviewed Kathy Griffin, and she said, "Oh, it's definitely not better at all." And that was
Right.
10 years ago. Um I don't know, it's hard to you can change laws in a country, you can change legislate you can fix legislation, but changing cultural attitudes is so much harder in many ways because people get stuck in their silos, and they just keep thinking the same thing that their parents told them or their grandparents told them, and changing that attitude, is has been tough, and I think men for many years in the '50s and before that were afraid of what we would say, that we would make fun of them. And we did, and we do now. We do now. So, and that's what these women do. So the film is has a it's not political, but I mean everybody wants to laugh right now, so I really think that this film is gonna be great um, for for delivering laughter. But it has a slight, um, you know, bit of feminism in it, in that we are now speaking up, and we now have things to say in a
Yes.
New Yorker cartoon kind of way, not in a not in a hard hitting, feminist way. But I also want to tell you, Jessica, that we just got news 2 days ago that Katie Couric is going to be an executive producer on this film.
Oh, that's
Isn't that
awesome.
great?
Yeah.
And the New Yorker will produce it
Oh,
when we're
that's
ready. Yeah,
amazing.
so we're really
That's
excited.
wonderful. Um I'm gonna throw something out there to toy with,
Yes.
and we can talk about it another time, but one theory is not only do women make fun of men in their humor, but maybe women potentially are attuned to injustice or certain absurdities in life that we're exposed to that we see through our lens, and that's part of our humor, and that might be threatening,
Yeah.
to some of the audience, and that might be why they perceive it as not funny, but others find it
That's
very funny. Go ahead.
I really agree with you because I actually wrote about that in that women have historically been the educators in a culture, at least at the ground level with, young children, and the keepers of the traditions to pass them on, because we have to know how to what the traditions are, what the rules are, in order to survive. So women have keen antenna as to what's going on and what's happening and what needs to change, and I think you're absolutely right there.
That's I love agreement. Um, well, tell us finally, like, you have pioneered this new style of live visual cartooning journalism. I don't know what you'd
Yeah.
call that. Um, what is it like for you to draw history as it happens? Is it almost therapeutic to have an expression? I know that when I'm anxious about the news and I can do a story on it, it gives me some relief personally.
Mhm.
Um, I
Mm.
don't know if it lets me come to terms with it or under feel I've done something. Um, yeah, what's your experience of doing live coverage?
I love doing live coverage. I worked for CBS and before the pandemic, live drawing for them, and I got to go to the White House and the press room and, covering things visually for audiences on my iPad, uh, that I found very rewarding because it's a language that I understand, I think a lot of other people do. They don't necessarily wanna read about something. They wanna see it, and they connect, like, they feel like they're there with me. I went to the Trump trial, the E. Jean Carroll Trump trial and drew that. I went to, down to the other trial recently and drew that. So I love connecting, um, with the news and with my audiences, visually because I think it's a softer way, it's a so
Yeah,
to consume what's going on, and it makes me feel good, like you said. It makes me feel um, like I'm doing something, I'm helping somebody. So,
somehow, yeah.
yeah.
Uh, so I call what I do news, not noise, and I like to
I
ask
love that.
people, um, because we all need a break from the noise, and in everything we do. What do you do when you need a break from the noise to recenter yourself, get grounded, feel human again?
I go for a walk or I go swimming.
Swimming.
Yeah.
Yeah, total immersion, really, it's like a full unplug. You can't be on your phone, you can't be
That's right,
talking.
exactly.
Although people do swim with ear pods in now.
I
Do
know,
you do
I've
that?
heard.
Not what you
No,
do.
I haven't gone there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try not to go there.
Yeah,
Though
don't.
I'm addicted to my phone, I'm gonna try not to do that, so,
Okay, we can
yeah.
both make that
What do
pact.
you do? What do you do?
That's a nice question. I try to meditate, but I fail many days and, exercise and walk my dog.
Uh-huh, yeah, yeah.
I mean, they do say that looking into the eyes of another being for 45 seconds resets you,
Huh.
which is a long time to stare in your dog's eyes, I will admit, but
I was just
maybe it was
thinking, maybe,
25
yeah,
seconds. Yeah,
that
I'm like, it's like,
that sounds like a really fun thing to do. Is your dog capable of doing that? Is my
no, he likes to look away. I mean, he does give me this, like, "Are you okay? Who did I end up with?" Anyway,
Oh.
Liza, would you tell us where everybody can find your work if they don't already
Oh,
know?
thank you. Substack, just search Liza Donnelly. My Substack's called Seeing Things, and there's no paywall. You can join. I have a lot of great people who do support me there, but you don't have to. Um, I've got Blue Sky and Instagram are all Liza Donnelly. What else? YouTube, Liza Donnelly. Pretty much all the same, Liza Donnelly. I am on Twitter, but I don't hardly use it anymore.
Yeah,
Um, what
I
is there? Am I missing? Oh, I'm also on TikTok, believe it or not, but I don't post frequently there.
good for you.
So, but
You're
yeah.
everywhere.
Well, I was thinking earlier today. Just one more thing. I really took to the internet like a duck to water. I'm not sure why that is. I just love connecting with people. I love being in touch with other people, and that's what I do with my cartoons. And now you've got more ways to do that online.
That's
So
awesome.
yeah,
I feel the
thank you.
same. Well, I'm so happy to connect with you. Let's do another conversation
I'd
again
love to
sometime
do
when you're
that.
done. Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Okay. It's
All right.
great to talk.
Take care.
Have a good
Bye.
one.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye, everyone.